extremely grateful to be here, to given the opportunity to be here. And I'm just trying to showcase my best work, what I've been putting in all after the season. And yeah, just take it all in, and I'm grateful everything is
You hear from
going.
your dad?
Yeah. He's been talking to me after the days and stuff, checking in like stuff like that. But
22 looks like he's still in his prime, and so as you're watching from that standpoint, are you viewing him kind of like as your teammate? Are there thoughts that come in where, okay, he's also your dad? Or how do you kind of stop thinking about that and just think about, okay, where's the defensive rotation?
A rift at the heart of the Lakers' kingdom is threatening to tear the franchise apart. For the first time ever, the carefully crafted story of father and son has cracked under the immense pressure of the NBA spotlight. The tension between LeBron James and his son Bronny has become so toxic that owner Jeanie Buss has been forced to step in personally. This is the inside story of the family feud no one saw coming, the secret meetings to save a dynasty's soul, and the ultimatum that could change the James legacy forever.
No, it's going to be difficult. Let's just do the math. There are all these teams in front of them. Let's say the Lakers have 23 games left. Not everybody has the same number of games, but let's just say a couple of those teams go 11-12 over the final 23 games. The Lakers are going to have to do something like go 16-7, minimum 15-8. And so the question becomes, are the Lakers going to be good enough and healthy enough? And when I talked to LeBron a couple of weeks ago, he stressed everything.
The dream
LeBron
was
James made his
perfect on
first
paper.
public comments
LeBron
today,
James
3 days
finishing
after his
legendary
oldest son,
career
Bronny, went into
alongside
cardiac
his son,
arrest.
Bronny,
The
on the
NBA
grandest
star
stage
thanked
in
everyone
basketball.
for their love
But
and
the reality
prayers,
inside
saying,
the
quote,
Lakers facility
"We have our
has
family
become
together."
a pressure cooker of conflicting ambitions, generational friction, and suffocating expectation. Sources close to the team describe a palpable, icy distance that has grown between father and son over the first half of the season. The issues are multifaceted. LeBron, the ultimate veteran obsessed with film, preparation, and winning, has reportedly been an intense, demanding presence for his rookie son. He corrects Bronny's mistakes in film sessions with a blunt, unforgiving precision that he wouldn't use with other young players. He has, on multiple occasions, called out Bronny's defensive lapses in front of the entire team, a move meant to instill toughness, but one that has deeply embarrassed the 20-year-old. Bronny, for his part, is struggling under a microscope no rookie in history has faced. Every missed shot, every turnover is framed as a failure to live up to his father's name. Teammates report he has withdrawn, becoming quiet and hesitant on the court, afraid to make a mistake that will trigger another private or, worse, public correction from his father. The joyful prospect of playing together has curdled into a stressful, performative ordeal. The breaking point came during a late-game timeout in a close loss, when cameras caught LeBron visibly and angrily diagramming a play for Bronny, who stared at the ground, unresponsive. The clip went viral. LeBron lectures Bronny. The dream was now visibly fraying in real time. The tension is no longer private. It's a public spectacle hurting the team, and the one person with the power and the motive to fix it has just decided enough is enough. To see Jeanie Buss's stunning intervention, subscribe now.
The least, what would your dad think of this right now, Jeanie?
You know, it felt, very like a familiar feeling that when we got Shaquille O'Neal as a free agent in 1996, it kind of felt the same way, which that is the formula, kind of the way Dr. Buss liked to do things, is to go after the best and, put together the best.
The viral clip of the tense timeout was the final straw. For Jeanie Buss, this was no longer a family matter or a rookie struggle. It was an active, visible cancer eroding her team's chemistry and focus. She could see the effect on the rest of the roster. Veterans tiptoeing around the James family dynamic, young players mirroring Bronny's hesitancy, and the overall offensive flow stalling as players overthought passes to avoid triggering another tense moment. Buss did not call a meeting with LeBron. She did not summon Bronny. She acted with the authority of an owner protecting her asset. Her first move was to temporarily remove Bronny from the active rotation, citing a need for him to focus on individual development and film study. Publicly, it was framed as a standard move for a rookie. Privately, it was a circuit breaker, a forced separation to cool the public spectacle and give the young player breathing room. Her second move was the definitive one. She summoned LeBron James to her office at the Lakers training facility for a one-on-one meeting. The tone, according to a source familiar with the conversation, was not confrontational, but starkly maternal and fiercely pragmatic. She spoke not as an owner to her employee, but as the steward of the Lakers family to its most prominent member. This is hurting your son, it is hurting this team, and it is hurting you, Buss is reported to have said. She presented it as a triple threat to everything LeBron valued. She acknowledged his unparalleled drive and his desire to fast-track his son's development, but she framed his current method as counterproductive. You are coaching him like the heir to a throne that carries your name. He needs to be coached like a 20-year-old kid who needs to find his own game, or he will break. And if he breaks under your watch in this uniform, that will be your legacy here, not the championships. She then laid out her non-negotiable terms. For the remainder of the season, all basketball instruction and critique for Bronny would be funneled through the coaching staff, specifically through a designated assistant coach. LeBron was to be a supportive father and teammate in the locker room, not an additional coach. His interactions with Bronny on the bench and during games were to be positive or silent. Furthermore, she strongly suggested that LeBron and Bronny use their upcoming days off to spend time together entirely away from basketball. No film, no gym, just family. It was an unprecedented intervention. An owner was dictating the terms of a father-son relationship to protect the psychological well-being of a player and the sanctity of her team's environment. She was effectively putting a professional boundary around a personal dynamic, making it clear that the Lakers franchise would not be the arena for this familial pressure cooker. LeBron, known for controlling every aspect of his narrative, was being told to relinquish control of this one for the good of all. The owner has laid down the law. LeBron James, the most powerful player in the world, has just been given a directive about his own family. Will he accept it, or will this escalate into an unthinkable power struggle? His response will define the season. To see how the king reacts, subscribe now.
He has actually started playing at the high school level, being more in the spotlight. LeBron has made an effort to take that pressure down a few notches. And now if you ask him, he just says he just wants Bronny to be a happy and responsible kid who loves basketball, which you get as a parent. You get why he's trying to do that. Still, it's not stopping the rest of us from wondering what might be. There is this ever-growing, guys, collection of father-son duos in the NBA. I mean, you can go back way further, but let's just start with Kobe Bryant and his dad, Joe.
He was not expecting that. So he's hearing his whole body of work being cheered for in real time, and it looked like it caught his ass off guard because he's like, you know what I mean? Now you got to think about it. Everything he's
LeBron James left Jeanie Buss's office in silence. For a man whose life has been a masterpiece of controlled narrative and relentless pursuit, the directive was a profound shock. He was not being challenged on basketball strategy or contract details. He was being told his conduct as a father within the workplace was damaging the very legacy he sought to build. The meeting forced a painful, private reckoning. According to sources close to LeBron, his initial reaction was one of defensive anger. The thought that his intensity, the same drive that built an empire, could be harmful to his son was a difficult concept to accept. He reportedly spent hours in conversation with his wife, Savannah, and his inner circle, dissecting Buss's words. The central question was brutal. Was he helping Bronny, or was he, in his desire to accelerate the process, inadvertently smothering his son's chance to develop his own identity and confidence? The turning point came not from a business associate, but from within his family. Savannah James, who has always been the emotional anchor, helped reframe the issue. She reportedly emphasized that Bronny was not just a basketball prospect, but a young man navigating an impossible spotlight, and that his father's public critiques, however well-intentioned, were being perceived globally as disapproval. The goal of playing together was to share joy, not to conduct a public masterclass under duress. LeBron's public response was a masterclass in subtle, mature signaling. At the next practice, he was seen laughing and talking with other veterans on the sideline, while Bronny went through drills with the designated assistant coach. When Bronny had a tough shot in a scrimmage, LeBron, from across the gym, simply gave a single firm nod, a gesture of quiet approval without the weight of a lecture. On the bench during the next game, he was conspicuously hands-off, allowing the coaches to instruct. He was enacting Buss's directive to the letter, creating visible space. He did not apologize publicly. He did not mention the meeting. His actions were his statement. By pulling back, he was acknowledging the owner's intervention and, more importantly, prioritizing his son's mental space over his own compulsive need to control the basketball education. It was a silent, powerful concession from the king, signaling that some things, family harmony and a young man's confidence, were ultimately more important than proving a point or winning a power struggle. The tension has been dialed down, but the path forward is fragile. With LeBron stepping back, the spotlight now shifts entirely to Bronny. Can he step up in the space his father has vacated? The next game is no longer about the James family drama. It's Bronny's first real chance to play free. Don't miss the audition. Subscribe now.
At all. My sense is that he's better than I would have been in that situation. 20,000 fans screaming my name to get in the game and wanting me to be in the game. And if the roles reversed, I don't know if I would have been able to handle it. So just commend him on, his composure, the way he approaches, not only the game, but just approach, life in general. And to see him get his first NBA basket in this arena where he grew up.
Bronny? No. I think he's tough. He just got to develop.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
The first game after Jeanie Buss's intervention and LeBron's subtle withdrawal felt different. The overwhelming, watchful pressure that seemed to follow Bronny James's every move had lessened. It hadn't vanished, but the most intense source, his father's visible, vocal scrutiny from the bench, was now a quiet presence. The directive had created a bubble of operational space around the rookie. Bronny started the game on the bench, but entered late in the first quarter to a supportive but not overbearing home crowd. The difference was immediate and palpable. He wasn't looking toward the bench after every possession. His decisions were quicker, if not always perfect. He was playing with the instinctual flow of a basketball player, not the paralyzing calculation of a son under a microscope. Midway through the second quarter, it happened. In a scramble for a loose ball, Bronny dove on the floor, secured it, and from his knees fired a one-handed cross-court bullet to a streaking Austin Reeves for an easy layup. It was a play of pure reactive hustle and skill, the kind that can't be coached in a film session, only unleashed through confidence. The arena erupted. On the Lakers bench, LeBron James leapt to his feet, not to instruct, but to celebrate. He pumped his fist, a wide, genuine smile on his face, cheering for his teammate, who also happened to be his son. That play was the turning point. Bronny played the rest of his minutes with a noticeable looseness. He took and missed an open three without hesitation. He fought through a screen to stay attached to his man. The box score was modest, 5 points, 3 assists, 1 steal. But the stat line was irrelevant. The takeaway was his demeanor, engaged, unburdened, and finally playing within the flow of the game, not the shadow of a legacy. After the game, in the locker room, a brief but telling moment was captured by team cameras. LeBron walked past Bronny's locker, reached out, and gave his son a firm single pat on the back of the head, a universal gesture of good job from a veteran to a rookie, from a father to a son. No words were exchanged. None were needed. The space that had been forced upon them had in a single game become the very thing that allowed them to connect as players, and perhaps begin to repair their relationship as father and son within the insane context of the NBA. A breakthrough has been made, but the structural issue remains. Can this fragile new dynamic last through the grind of an NBA season? And what is the long-term plan? Jeanie Buss's intervention was a short-term fix, but she now faces the bigger picture. The owner's endgame is coming into focus. To see her master plan, subscribe now.
Jeanie Buss here on The Rich Eisen Show. So, as the word has been mentioned, Magic rings the doorbell of one LeBron James
Yes.
here on the west side of Los Angeles
Right.
at 9 Pacific, midnight Eastern, when it was first allowed for him to ring the doorbell in
That's
question.
Right. That's right.
Where were you at that moment?
I was at home, kind of watching things, unfold with, some of the other free agent signings that were taking place that night. And
Kobe just setting his mind and watching him strategize why certain things, because the team was suffering in terms of,
Jeanie Buss's intervention was never just about soothing tensions for one season. For the Lakers owner, the public friction between LeBron and Bronny was a symptom of a larger, more dangerous problem: the franchise's future being held hostage by a single emotionally charged narrative. With the immediate crisis managed, Buss now moved to address the root cause with a cold, strategic vision for the post-LeBron era. According to high-level sources, Buss convened a private meeting with general manager Rob Pelinka and a select few trusted advisors. The topic was the 2026 offseason and beyond. Her directive was clear: the Lakers' operational focus must immediately and decisively shift to building the next sustainable contender, with Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves as the foundational pillars. The father-son era, while a powerful story, was not to be a planning parameter for the basketball operations department. Buss authorized Pelinka to begin exploratory trade discussions centered on acquiring a young, established star to pair with Davis, a player in the 24 to 27 age range who could be the face of the franchise for the next half-decade. This was a clear signal. The search for the next king was officially underway, and sentiment would not be a factor. Most critically, Buss defined the future role of Bronny James within this new framework. The organization would commit to his development as a Laker, not as LeBron's son. This meant a rigorous, individualized training program in the offseason, potentially including a stint in the G League for consistent, high-minute reps away from the Hollywood glare. The goal was to evaluate and develop Bronny purely on his own merits, freeing him from the impossible burden of immediate comparison and allowing the franchise to make clear-eyed decisions about his long-term fit when his rookie contract expired. For LeBron, Buss's endgame contained an implicit, respectful ultimatum. The Lakers would celebrate his final seasons, with the honor they deserved, but the machinery of the franchise would no longer orient around his personal timelines or family dynamics. He could choose to be a part of the transition, mentoring the next core, or he could become a celebrated monument to the past. The choice was his, but the direction of the franchise was now set. Jeanie Buss had used a family crisis to reassert institutional control and pivot the entire organization toward a future it could control, rather than one it simply hoped for. The owner's long-term vision is set. The franchise is moving on, with or without LeBron's blessing. This final chapter explores the new, professionalized relationship between the James family and the Lakers and what it means for the legacies of everyone involved. The story reaches its stunning conclusion. Don't miss it. Subscribe now.
Definitely some more excitement than nervousness, for sure. I'm just ready to go out there and play and be better than I was last time I was playing. So just having that mindset of being, ready to play and ready for whatever's thrown at me. Matters the role, what I got to do on defense, offense, everything. Be good teammates, my new summer league team, stuff like that. Just I'm really excited to get out there with them.
You've produced an NBA game, so I don't want to make too much of a summer league game, but you guys are going to be playing on opening night.
You are of age is what you, I guess, tell your mind you are. And I'm around a lot of young guys. I'm around a 10-year-old daughter who's running through the house all day, every day, screaming.
The remainder of the season unfolded under a new, unspoken covenant between the James family and the Los Angeles Lakers. The tension was replaced by a respectful, professional distance with clearly defined boundaries. LeBron James focused on his own historic play, chasing the scoring record with a clarity that had been missing during the familial strife. He became a vocal supporter of Bronny from the bench, but his interactions were those of a proud veteran teammate, not an intense hands-on coach. The weight had been lifted from his shoulders as much as from his son's. Bronny James, operating in the developmental space Buss had mandated, showed gradual, tangible improvement. His confidence grew with each game where his success or failure was his own, not a referendum on his father's legacy. He remained a role player, but one who belonged, making smart plays and occasionally flashing the two-way potential that had made him a prospect. The narrative around him quietly shifted from LeBron's son to the Lakers' interesting young guard. The true resolution came in a private end-of-season meeting between Jeanie Buss and LeBron James. Buss, according to sources, presented her vision not as an ultimatum, but as a partnership for the final act. She reiterated the franchise's commitment to Bronny's development as an independent asset and outlined the aggressive plan to build a new contender around Anthony Davis. She then offered LeBron a choice for his own finale. He could sign a final, lucrative one-year deal to be a bridge and mentor in this new era, with his statue unveiling set for that season's finale, or they could collaborate on a majestic, pre-planned farewell that offseason. The key was that both paths led to the same destination, his immortalization as a Laker legend and the franchise's orderly transition to its next chapter. LeBron, having seen the liberation that professional structure provided his son and understanding the futility of fighting a future already in motion, chose partnership. The details of his final contract would be negotiated, but the war was over. Jeanie Buss had won not by defeating the king, but by convincing him to see that his legacy and his son's future were both better served by the kingdom's long-term health than by his continued total sovereignty.
The story of the tension between LeBron and Bronny James is not a simple tale of father-son conflict. It is a case study in the collision of profound personal dreams with the cold, practical realities of a billion-dollar sports enterprise. Jeanie Buss's intervention was a masterstroke of franchise stewardship. She recognized that the greatest threat to the Lakers wasn't a losing streak, but the emotional hijacking of its future. By stepping in, she accomplished three things. She protected a young player from psychological burnout. She freed her superstar from a self-imposed burden that was harming his own game. And she decisively reoriented her franchise toward a future it controls. In the end, LeBron secured his family's place in Lakers lore. Bronny gained the freedom to carve his own path, and the Lakers regained their agency. Sometimes the most powerful move an owner can make isn't a blockbuster trade, but the courage to tell a king that even a dynasty must sometimes bow to what's best for the kingdom. What matters more? Achieving a personal dream at any cost, or ensuring the long-term health of the institution that makes the dream possible? Let us know in the comments. For more inside stories on the delicate balance of family, legacy, and power in professional sports, hit subscribe. We go inside the rooms where the hardest decisions are made.